Hi guys, Happy New Year to you and welcome to the first Gold Lap Guide of 2024. This time we take on Trial Mountain in the Toyota Supra GT500 from 1997 in the latest online lap time challenge. I've currently got a fairly safe gold lap time, so I'll show you what I did to achieve that. Now I do like this combo, but this car can get a bit sketchy on the throttle, especially on those hard tyres, so stick around to the end, I'm sure you'll pick up a few helpful tips. Now before we get started, a quick point of note, I like to change gears around 7,000 RPM or roughly where the gear indicator is. So first point of reference is this flagpole on the left hand side, or you can use these yellow tents as well. At that point I like to just raise the brakes 25% pressure roughly and drop down to 5th gear. And we're going to stay in 5th gear for these entire S's. I'll go through this nice and slow so you can see it. So plenty of curb there. I'll take plenty of curb there, really maximise this to open these corners out. Staying in 5th gear again, I'm on and off the throttle just to manage the weight transfer. I'm back on the throttle again now. I'll show you from behind the car. So you can see we've got two wheels well onto the curb. You can cross this white line on the inside, no problem at all. Semi in for this corner. Again, you can take full advantage of that curb. As long as you've got two wheels on the blue and white curbing, you'll be absolutely fine. And I'm just managing the throttle to make sure I don't go too deep. So plenty of curbing there, and away we go into the tunnel. So next braking point, just as this barrier turns grey on the right hand side, it's actually before the tunnel starts as well. I'm going to brake down to 3rd gear here. Now I'm going to brake hard initially for a brief moment, and then I'm going to trail brake quite slowly into this corner in 3rd gear. So we're hard on the brakes, very briefly, down to 3rd gear, trailing in now, nice slow release of the brakes as we come in, back up to 4th gear for traction, get on the power nice and aggressively. You might get a bit of squirrely on the outside of there, but hopefully should be okay. Next braking point, before the yellow sign on the left hand side, there's a little rock, or quite a big rock actually, and I'm going to go down to 3rd gear here. Now make sure you've got the car all the way over to the left hand side and you're lined up, ready for this corner. So I'll be 100% brakes for a brief moment, then I'll be trailing off as we go into the corner. So 100% trail off, just keep me 3rd gear, get as close to that inside as you can, use all the circuit on the left hand side, and away we go. Next braking points, just as this curbing ends on the left hand side, or just where the apex of this little follow through curb is, that's the point where I like to just apply a little bit of brakes and go down to 3rd gear again. So our goal here is to maximise this straight coming up. So through this corner, slight dab of the brakes, down to 3rd gear, and back up to 4th again, just after the apex. Now, don't go too far left, stay to the right a little bit to maximise this next bit. So about 1/3 of the way into the tunnel, roughly where this arrow is right now, I'm just going to have a little dab of the brakes and drop down to 3rd gear. I'm just going to try and get the car as tight to this left hand side as possible. So approximately 1/3 of the way into the tunnel, a little dab of the brakes, down to 3rd gear. Try to keep it nice and tight on here, get back to 4th again, start getting the power down as early as you possibly can. Avoid the barrier on the right hand side, but do use all the circuit if you can for the best exit possible. And as always guys, if you get any value out of this at all, then please do hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers and I massively appreciate the support. Thank you very, very much. Coming towards the tricky last sector, next braking points, roughly where this yellow sign is on the right hand side. It's a good marker that really. I'm going to drop down to 3rd gear here. And we're actually going to try and trail brake this quite deep into the corner. Now I don't quite get this one right. Try and get a bit closer to the apex than I do here. I'm a bit away, but I sort of get away with it. Back to 4th gear for get the power down. Use all that circuit on the right hand side if you need to. Swing the car back to the left hand side again. Try and open this next bit, straight line through here. So the next braking point, there's a cone and a tree on the left hand side. I like to use the cone. The tree might be a little bit too late, but give them both a try, see what you think. I'm going to be hard on the brakes in a straight line, down to 3rd gear. This track falls away, so it's very easy to take too much speed into this corner. Be very careful with that. So we're hard on the brakes, down to 3rd gear. Almost feel like you're over slowing this a little bit. You're going to try and keep the car sliding down to a minimum. Take plenty of curb on the inside. As soon as you feel comfortable, get back on the throttle again. Use all the circuit on the left hand side and away we go. Next braking point, somewhere around about where this shadow is. Now I don't like shadows normally, but this is a time trial. If the shadows don't move, you can use it. You sort of feel the car in the dip as well. It's just before you get to the bottom of the dip I'm going to brake down to third gear again. So again, I'm 100% braking in a straight line just for a brief moment, down to third gear, control the brakes in, take plenty of curve. When you feel comfortable, get back on the throttle as hard and aggressive as you can, maximise the traction capability of the car, use all the circuit on the right hand side, and away we go. Last little sector now. Braking point, there's a bit of a mark on the wall where this arrow is on the right hand side. You can just about make it out. It's just after the curbing starts and it's before the mark further on. So keep your eyes out to the right here, get this in your peripheral vision. I'm going to brake down to second gear here. So we're hard on the brakes in a straight line, down to second gear. Now we're going to try and open up the start-finish straight. So don't take too much speed through this, sacrifice it a little bit. Down to second gear, back to third at the apex. Don't go too far wide to the right, stay around the middle of the circuit. You're in third gear here, little dab of the brakes, get the car turned in here. Don't take too much curb, you might spin the car. Back on the throttle as early as you possibly can. Miss that barrier on the left-hand side and a straight run to the line. And we're going to cross the finish line for a 1 minute, there we go, 1 minute 52.530, which is good enough at time of recording for 1.64% and 136th in the world. Now I'll talk about braking a lot in this video. If you want to improve your braking, then click this video right here, it could just help you. Thank you very much for watching guys, take care, good luck with it, I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.